Hi, I'm Rob Neuner. I'm the CEO of Boost Oxygen here in Milford, Connecticut.
I'm Mike Grice, the Chief Operating Officer at Boost Oxygen, currently in Connecticut. My headquarters is out of San Diego, but I'm here at the worldwide Boost headquarters.
Yeah. And we're in the first week of October. It's a 1-year anniversary of being on Shark Tank. And we're actually wearing the same shirts that we were on Shark Tank a year ago. Very, very fun experience, but we decided to shoot a retrospective and sort of go over the past year of what's happening here at Boost Oxygen and our engagement with Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah, that's an opportunity. It's hard to believe. It's been probably the weirdest year for anyone. 2020 has been bizarre in so many different ways, but it's been exciting to have been on Shark Tank a year ago, and it's really helped, I think, us weather the storm that has been 2020.
Yeah, it's been a great experience. So the deal that we had on Shark Tank was a $1 million loan from Kevin O'Leary for, I think, we're a little bit 6% of the business. We agreed to something slightly different, but we were very proud of the fact that we were one of the few $1 million deals ever closed on Shark Tank. Mm-hmm.
I think we didn't realize it was a reality until we were kind of walking down the hallway. Because it was a very strange kind of esoteric experience, because neither one of us had ever woken up and say, oh, you know what, we're just going to be on TV someday. We're running an oxygen company and we're doing the best we can to do that. And this kind of came out of the blue, and it just, the amount of preparation and the amount of competition was very intense. And we never knew for sure that it was going to happen until we were standing in front of the sharks.
Yeah, I think it was a reality for me when we got our plane tickets. They actually sent the plane tickets like, okay, here's when you're leaving to go to California. And because I, like, the whole time before that, like, this is not going to happen. This is not going to happen. Yeah. But even though they said it was going to happen. And then until we actually found out that we were going to be aired, right, I still didn't think it was going to happen. Yeah. So it was fun.
It was.
Yeah.
What I thought was super interesting was it's in Culver City. I mean, it's an active television studio, and they years and years and years ago, when it was a movie studio, we were going out to do our practices and do all those things. Like, Gone with the Wind was filmed over there, and Wizard of Oz was filmed in that building over there. And that's when it was really strange to kind of go someplace that you've heard about your entire life. But what I thought was the most bizarre thing was we were in a hotel with a bunch of other people on reality TV shows, a lot of which were going on Shark Tank, and we weren't supposed to talk to each other.
Yeah.
So it was very strange that
they're all freaking out.
You can't go anywhere. we're all prepping, and you go down to have dinner, or you go down to have a drink at the bar, and you kind of don't talk to people next to you.
Right.
And it kind of chatted a little bit, but it was an experience that in no way I would have anticipated or expected.
Yeah. Mike had to make a boat.
Yeah, it's actually we had a vacation planned that literally we walked out of there, and I drove down, picked up my family,
fast,
and got on a plane and went on vacation. Yeah. So, but we talked about it. What was interesting was they do some interviews after you walk out, like fresh while you're just walking out of the room. They ask you some questions, and then we went to another interview and they asked you some questions, which you still haven't processed it yet, and then kind of we talked about it extensively afterwards. Like, when you get done with it, it was interesting to look at it in retrospect, because everything, it's, as a TV show, they are so good at what they do. We never stopped moving until literally they were like, hey, thanks a lot, you're on mic, good luck, yeah. God bless.
Yeah. And
we didn't really have a time to talk about anything until the following weeks after I got back from vacation.
Yeah. I went back to the hotel and I fell asleep. It was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I was just exhausted. I spoke to Lenny, and I spoke to Mike Minogue, and I just went straight to bed. And I woke up like 3 hours later, and then I felt great. But it's kind of like a real sort of exhausting process.
People were excited, but we didn't know what story was going to get told.
Right.
And if we just knew what we had experienced and we knew we had a deal, but when it goes into the editing floor and into what was the messaging that was part of the entertainment of the show, so we didn't know. It was sort of like, hey, I hope we don't look like idiots, and,
I know, right?
and it worked out great. But people were excited, and even I was just out to dinner the other night here, and the bartender was like, oh, they were on Shark Tank. It was really it's weird being somebody that bartenders point at saying, yeah, I saw you on TV. Because again, it's not anything I started my life going, yep, I can't wait.
Yeah, I remember even on Halloween, someone came to our door and said, "You were on Shark Tank." I was like, "Really?" It's kind of fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
We had a great. We decided we wanted to have a party, and I was like, "Well, where should we have a party?" It's like, "Well, let's have it at a Shark Tank right in Norwalk, Connecticut. There's a maritime aquarium that has a massive Shark Tank." So I went to the Maritime Aquarium and said, "Can we rent out a room after hours?" And they said, "Absolutely. We do this all the time." And a big screen, a huge screen that could show it, and invited actually everyone who has touched this business since its inception. So from our UPS reps, and our UPS driver came, and our designer came, and the people who made our masks here in Bridgeport came. So all our friends and family came. So it was really kind of a nice way to get everyone together and celebrate sort of a milestone in the company.
What you see on TV is the tiny tip of the iceberg of what it takes to actually partner. So it was we spent 5 months in negotiations and due diligence and making, he has to look under the hood to make sure that, we're a good, solid foundation, foundational business that's successful. And we have to decide if, we want to take the risk and the financial obligation that comes from partnering. So it was a real business. It was a real business deal. And it was, we learned a lot about our own business by doing it. We learned a lot about how Kevin O'Leary Productions works. But it was a lot of really deep conversations, and it's business. When you got right down to it, Kevin O'Leary is a businessman, and he's a good one, and he made sure that we were qualified to be part of his portfolio.
Right. And it was actually interesting. It was a very good faith negotiation. They were interested in our company, and we were interested in his organization, and also using the Shark Tank platform. So I think we both came from good places, and I think both of us exited with a very fair deal that has been and will be mutually beneficial. So it's been great. Mm-hmm. We had probably a 2 times growth in revenue stemming from Shark Tank, and that leveled off a little bit. And then when the COVID struck in March, and with the help of the Shark Tank platform, our sales even more than doubled. So we've gotten a lot of people looking at us brand new for different reasons. We've always had a strong presence in the altitude market for hypoxia, and a lot of people are experiencing hypoxia for a lot of different reasons now, and also I'm just not saying COVID, but other issues where people become hypoxic, whether it be in sports, whether it be elderly. They say, "Oh, listen, that could help me too, not just in altitude." So that has really sort of opened a lot of different avenues to the company, and but the growth, I think, has shocked us both.
Yeah, it really has. And one of the things that has been great about partnering with Kevin O'Leary at Shark Tank is he helps get the message out to people who had never heard of the concept of boost oxygen and supplemental recreational oxygen. One of the biggest challenges we have is that when we meet somebody for the first time, we have to explain what is it, what it's oxygen, and conceptually, like, okay, everybody gets that there's oxygen, but this is oxygen for consumers. Anybody can buy it, anybody can use it, and everybody benefits from it. And we've had that conversation probably 10,000 times a piece, every customer we meet the first time, we have to go through the whole explanation of what our value proposition is and why why our product is something that they should carry if they're a retailer or distributor, or why they would want to use it as a consumer. And getting that messaging out is something that Kevlar has been great at. So that what we're seeing is that instead of people asking that question the first time, they're like, instead of what is it, it's like, how can I get it? And that's messaging, along with all the other efforts that we've got going on, that's been very, very successful.
Right. A lot of people stepped up such big time during the COVID crisis, especially initially during the lockdown and the quarantine. It was very difficult for people, especially at our fillers, to find employees to work. And so they kept us in supply as best as they could, and they really bent over backwards to do that. Everyone here in Milford, and everyone actually outside in Milford and San Diego and Miami and everywhere else, we didn't take a day off. We all came in because we had a big spike in demand. People really wanted our oxygen for important purposes, and I think everyone realized that. And everyone stepped up to the plate, and no one, no one left or felt sheepish about coming in or whatever. But it was very inspiring to see how everyone sort of came together and met the demand and met a lot of questions that were being thrown at us.
Yeah, and I would add on to that. It's been over time. I mean, this wasn't just a weekend. It wasn't just a week. It's been months and months. Probably we're in month 5, going into month 6 of just working harder than anyone ever thought they would. And everyone is pitching in, and everybody's having a great time doing it. But it's a lot of hard work, and we're having a conversation today that I don't think we could have even conceptualized a year ago if you were to look at what our business has been able to do and the people we've been able to help. So we thank everybody, our families, for putting up with the fact that we're working 18 hours a day, to our everyone who is part of Team Boost and their families, and our suppliers and everyone who's really stepped up, because it really has been a challenge across the board. And we're very we're blessed and fortunate that we have a job to come to every day, and we recognize the fact that it's a position that we take very seriously to make sure that we're providing the best product we can. But as we grow, we're employing people, we're giving people a job to come to, and we're excited to keep doing that.
So thank you for watching. It's our 1-year anniversary again, and it's a good time to celebrate during kind of a very difficult period in our history. But I want to thank all the customers out there. We work very hard to gain your trust, and that's the hallmark of our company is the trust that you bestowed in us. And we want to make sure that we want to thank you for everything, your support, your encouragement, your reviews, everything that you've done for us, and hopefully we can pay you back in kind.
Thank you very much.